him.
John was a very handsome man in his early 30s. He had a face that turned heads without trying. Whenever he walked past, young girls stared openly, and even elderly women stole glances. He was tall, dark-skinned, glowing, and always clean. His skin was smooth and spotless, and his smile carried a quiet confidence that made people curious. What made John more mysterious was not just his looks, but his lifestyle. John was not working. At least, nobody knew him to be working. Yet he lived a life many working men could only dream of. He wore trendy clothes every day, always with a fresh outfit that looked expensive. He used the latest iPhone, wore designer shoes, and walked around with fashionable headsets resting on his neck. Nothing about John ever looked old or cheap. He was always on point. You could never catch him looking rough. He lived alone in a well-furnished 3-bedroom flat. His yard members often whispered about him. Some called him a Yahoo guy. Others said he must be into something deeper. But whenever they asked, John would only smile, wave it off, and say calmly, "God is taking care of me." That answer never satisfied anyone. Every day, people asked the same question in different ways. "John, how do you survive? What do you really do? Who is backing you?" John never explained. He was polite, calm, and friendly, yet completely closed. He was transparent in character, but his source of money was a secret. Girls in the neighborhood were especially interested in him. Groups of them would often hang around his compound just to see what outfit he would wear that day. Once John stepped out, the street would pause for a few seconds. Heads would turn. Phones would come out. Whispering would start. John enjoyed the attention, but he kept his distance. What nobody knew was that John had a sugar mommy. She was not just any woman.
Shouting praise to God. Hallelujah!
She was a powerful woman of God, very popular in the city. People respected her deeply. Her prayers were believed to be strong. Her church was always full, and her name carried weight. She was married to a billionaire, a man known far and wide for his wealth and influence. Yet behind closed doors, this holy woman had a secret. She was the one sponsoring John's entire lifestyle. Nobody knew because they were extremely careful. They never met in town. They always met in a private hotel very far from the city, a place where nobody would recognize them. Whenever they met, she spoiled John with gifts, cash, clothes, phones, and anything trendy he desired. In return, John gave her attention, affection, and made her feel young again. She treated John like a baby. She begged him not to work and not to have any girlfriend. She said he was too cute and too precious, and she did not want anyone getting close to him. She even assigned bodyguards to watch him quietly, making sure no woman came too close. John obeyed her, not because he loved her deeply, but because she was funding his dream life. One call from John, and whatever he wanted would be delivered to his doorstep. Ironically, John even attended her church every Sunday. He sat among the congregation, listening to sermons about holiness and righteousness, while nobody knew the truth behind his fine clothes and soft life. On Sundays, after church, John would go out with his friends. They drank, laughed, and enjoyed life. Money was never a problem. John always paid. Yet no girl dared to approach him freely, because word had spread that he was protected. Then came John's birthday. That day changed everything. On his birthday morning, a private delivery truck arrived in front of his story building. Neighbors rushed out. Passers-by stopped. Phones were raised. From the truck came a brand new Lexus car, shining under the sun. John came downstairs in shock. When he realized the car was his, he hugged it like a child. He screamed with joy, took pictures, and called his friends. The compound turned into a party ground. Music played loudly. Drinks flowed freely. They danced until they were tired. Everyone was amazed. That night, When his friends expected him to go out for a bigger celebration, John suddenly said he was tired. Instead, he quietly drove straight to the private hotel. There, he met his sugar mommy. They spent the night together, far from the eyes of the world. After that, life continued as usual until fate introduced Anna. One day, a new girl moved into John's neighborhood. She was beautiful, curvy, and confident. She dressed well, wore trendy wigs, and carried herself with grace. Her name was Anna. She had just finished her youth service and moved closer to her workplace. The first time John saw Anna, he couldn't take his eyes off her. Anna noticed him too. She saw his clean skin, his fine clothes, his calm confidence. She was drawn to him instantly. Before long, casual greetings turned into conversations. Conversations turned into visits. Visits turned into late nights together. Friendship slowly became love. They cooked together, ate together, laughed together, and spent almost every day in each other's houses. For the first time, John felt something real. He began to forget his sugar mommy. He ignored calls. He postponed meetings. The woman noticed. She sent a spy. The report came back quickly. There was a new girl in John's life. Angry and hurt, the woman sent John a package with a letter inside. The message was clear: he should meet her immediately, or his sponsorship would stop. John rushed to the hotel.